stuff your governing board. My daughter will be wearing a skirt. Hi guys, welcome back to part 2 of today's episode. And today, gone are the days of teenage boys staring up the skirts of their female classmates as they go up and down the stairs. Because Newhouse Academy in Hayward has decided to ban skirts altogether from their uniform policy starting in this September. One mum even told the Manchester News she would never have considered the school for her daughter starting in September had she known about the change. Parents who objected say they are angry about the decision to push ahead with the plan and insist there has been no thorough consultation. So just like that, bam, gone. Skirts gone. Parents are feeling left out and marginalized from the lives of their own children. Is this acceptable? No. Do they care? Absolutely not. And this report and the school statement will prove it to you. It's just so like, F you, I don't care. And I want to go through it with you if you're ready. Remember to give this video a big thumbs up. Comment your ideas down below. Subscribe to the Freethinker Cast so you never miss a thought. And let me know what you think. I want to know. And I want to see some opinions from 16-year-olds. Yeah, you got the right to vote now. So I want to see you guys in the comment section, 16-year-olds, where you at? This ban disregards the female students and their right to express their femininity. I couldn't agree more. There's going to be some plus sides to this, right? You're not going to see these girls in ridiculously short skirts, like skirts the size of a belt. They make me feel uncomfortable. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, oh, you know, like, what is it? I don't want to. What is it? It's not, there's no length. It's just like that long. Besides that, it is hindering students' femininity. You're in this uniform for what, 9 hours a day, 5 days a week? Girls in this generation rarely have the opportunity to embrace their feminine identity, to express elegance or anything like this, because it's just so normalized to be more masculine these days. And I fell victim to this as well when I was that age. We already have an epidemic of girls wearing Jordan 1s, Jordan 4s and Air Max 95s. This uniform policy is only going to make it worse. We need a concerted effort through the schools and through culture and through society to re-emphasize grace, cultivating poise and elegance in young ladies. And I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm saying this as someone who wants to duly participate in that. You know, I try to do more dresses. I try to do more skirts. And I have to make this effort. And I think with teenagers, it should really be, that decision should be between them and their parents. Like, who is the school? Who are you? When you wear trousers for 9 hours a day, 5 days a week, you will inevitably lose touch with your femininity. You can never lose it because your girl is a girl. You can never lose your femininity, but you lose touch with it. You know, you don't think about it. They're trying to blur the lines these days. I'm just like, we need to stop. We need to just stop. You are a girl and you're a boy. Okay? You know what I mean? Just very simply, very plainly put. There are way too many girls who dress like lesbian tomboys. This is the letter the parents received. Following consultation with students and the Academy's governing board, not the parents, the students and the Academy's governing board. Following consultation with two entities that have nothing to do with you, the parent and the primary caregiver of the child, it's been agreed that from September 2025, we will move away from skirts being a part of the girls' uniform. Thank God for this, okay, guys? Leggings and tracksuit bottoms are not acceptable. Not only are they not acceptable in school, they're not acceptable anywhere on a young lady. Okay, if you are wearing leggings, like, have something like covering it, like a skirt or like a long nice coat or something like this. Generally speaking, I don't see leggings and tracksuit bottoms on any young lady. In the bin, do you understand me? If you're thinking about buying new uniform items at any time soon, please do not buy skirts. If you are thinking if you're thinking about it, don't. That's how the head teacher said it. Didn't come across in the message. I just wanted to do the little shoulder to show you what she was thinking. These schools will email you everything about your child. Everything. Your child said this, your child did that. Here's a school trip you need to pay for. It's £100. Pay it by next week or else. These schools will tell you everything, and you know what I mean? Here's a useless form. Here's a useless email regarding something that I'm not going to read, and blah, 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 blah. They will send you so many things. They will have so much correspondence with the parents, but this, because bear in mind, they're saying it was with the students and the Academy's governing board, but the parents are telling you something else. I believe the parents. I believe the parents. I do. I believe the parents. And the reason why they intentionally are disregarding parents' voices on this matter is because they know that if the parents got involved, they would push back. They would push back like this mom did, and they would say something. Their action, the school's actions, are reflective of the Department of Education's sense of entitlement towards your child. They think your child is theirs. Someone on an unelected committee where they drink tea and eat biscuits and talk about their vegetable garden decided that this was best for your child. So do you know what I mean? The Academy's governing board. Stuff your governing board. My daughter will be wearing a skirt. And then here in the statement, I just like the audacity. It's just like, listen to the statement. While there is no legal demand for us to consult on uniform changes, I've got to do the shoulder while I do this, okay? This is what they want to say. While there's no legal requirement for us to tell you anything, we wholly recognize that it is important for any such decisions are not made in isolation. We just thought that it might be a good idea to throw you in the loop because we opted for it. We don't have to. We just thought maybe you'd want to know. I need to translate it because something I've learned about just reading things is so many boards. There's so many boards. There's always a board. There's always a board. There's always a committee, and they always have something to say. That's why we have been working with and listening to our community for months on this issue. We had a formal listening period that anyone was able to respond to. We've worked closely with the student council. Student council! Newsflash, I was on the student council. You shouldn't listen to anyone on the student council. I was on the student council. I remember it when I was 8 years old. Except I was in charge of things like issuing people with their pen licenses. I was trying to advocate for everyone to get their pen license or whatever it was. Just things like that, you know. You're going to put teenagers in charge of decisions that they ought to really be making between their parents and themselves. Staff have been given an opportunity to have their say. Stuff your staff. That staff is not their mother. And it has been discussed at the relevant levels in our governance structure. What do you mean? What do you mean by governing structure? Listen, parents, they're forming their own bureaucracy. While you're at work, working 9 to 5, they're forming their own governing structure. They've got their own bureaucracy. We talk about the UN. On this channel, we talk about the UN, the WHO, the EU, the High Court, the ECHR, all of these bureaucracies. But what about the most important of all? The PTA, the Parent Teacher Association. What do everyone's talking so much about the borders. What about the borders of your own home, the borders of the minds of your own children? Who's influencing them? Do your school have more influence over children than you do? Does social media have more influence over your children than you do? It's time for us to do some innkeeping. Because if this were the other way around, it would not be tolerated. Right? Gender confusion is much less obvious in women than it is in men. If the policy were the other way around and we banned trousers instead of skirts and we made boys all wear skirts, we'd rightly say this is an overt attack on masculinity. Right? It's far clearer. But because women are going to be forced to wear trousers, we don't see it in the same light and we're not as equally as outraged. But we should be. This is an attack on femininity and it should not be tolerated. This mum bravely spoke out to this newspaper and I think she should be commended for that. And I think more than she's brave, she's not distracted. So many parents are distracted and so many parents perceive school or taking their child to school as a break from parenting. Just put their feet up or go and do something else you're more interested in at work or with friends at the office or whatever. But she's not distracted. She is involved in her child's life. And she's doing something about it. She's gone to this newspaper and she said something. And you can do the same thing. Do something about this. Or you can do something about this by liking the video. Comment your ideas down below. Share with a friend. It boosts it in the algorithm and we can raise more awareness to this issue. Maybe if you know the school, send it to someone in the school, a parent or a teacher in the school, so they can do something about it. They can feel encouraged to do something about it themselves because we need to bring back femininity, please. If you're a 16-year-old as well, come on now. Come on. You've just been given the right to vote and you can't wear a skirt. How are you going to tell me I can vote on the country, the economy, I can vote on the borders, I can vote on the billions of pounds of spending in this country, but I can't wear a skirt? Who are you? Just because some students, some tomboy lesbian students in the student council said that they didn't want to wear a skirt, or some, masculine women who have just repressed their femininity because they don't feel comfortable in it, has said they don't want to wear a skirt. That doesn't mean there's other teenage girls who don't love their femininity, who don't love their being a girl's girl. They don't love like doing their hair and doing their nails and I want to wear a skirt and feel pretty. Like there are girls who want that. We need the skirts back. And you can vote on the economy. So you better speak up for something like this now. Like, comment and subscribe. Thank you for watching part 2 of today's episode. Remember to give it a big thumbs up, comment your ideas down below. The full episode will be available on Spotify and other clips here on the channel as well for you to take a look at. Bye.